Welcome to Dune Awakening, the survival adventure game set in the legendary world of spice, sand and sandworms. Today we're diving headfirst into the world of base building, and I'll be guiding you step by step through the building mechanics as we create this easy starter base together. Inside this starter base you'll find a small garage to park your bike, a crafting zone that houses all the essential equipment you'll need to survive this barren landscape, a dedicated storage area to keep all your materials safe and sound, and upstairs a cozy relaxation space where you can kick back and read in peace and quiet. If you find yourself enjoying today's video, don't forget to smash that like button, drop a comment if you want to see more builds like this, and subscribe. It's completely free and helps me out a ton. Now without further ado, let's get into this build tutorial. Hello ladies and jelly spoons, and welcome back to a brand new building episode with me, Lols at Lance. Now today we're going to be looking at base building in Dune Awakening, which is where we are now. Now I have been playing the beta for the last day or so, and I have to say I'm really enjoying this game. It's a super fun game and I'm loving it. I've just set up a little temporary little hut here quickly with some storage boxes so I can get to building and show you guys what the building is all about. So when you start the game, you'll start off in the starting area, which is the south zone, and later on you'll make your way up to the harder zones in different areas, but you do start off in the starting area here. And as part of your story mission, you'll be asked to place in a base, which is pretty early game, to be honest. Pretty early game you get asked to place in a base. Now how do you do that? So you have to construct a construction tool, which is this thing here, and all the crafting stuff. Honestly, it's so cheap. So many of the things that you need to make cost barely anything, honestly. Just a few metal, just a few granite and stuff, so really simple to make. I can't even find it. Where is it? Here we go. So you've got all these different sections here. You've got water discipline, you've got combat, but you've also got construction. So here's the construction tool, and it only costs 20 salvaged metal to get. And you get so much metal, guys, so this will be very easy to make. And once you've crafted it, you'll have this menu in front of you. Now it's quite daunting at first. It was very daunting for me. But essentially, if you're on keyboard and mouse, you'll be able to press R, and it will take you up and you can see all of these different things that you can make. Look at this. So I'm only showing you guys the starter stuff today and not going on to the harder stuff that you get a bit later on in the game. We'll just stick with the starter stuff that you get. So this is all the starter stuff that you're able to build. But before you do any of that, you need to place down your sub-thief console. Now when you go to place this down, I've already got mine placed down, but as you can see there's a blue box. And this blue box indicates where your base will be able to be built. So this one is the starter game one, and it's a small box. It's quite a small box. Once you place it down, say I place it down here, you'll then be able to move it. Now, as you can see on the bottom right here, we've got build, piece picker, repair, move, and demolish. So if I just go through these and go to move, I'll be able to move this sub-thief console wherever I like, and the box remains the same. So you can move this. I'm just going to move it into the corner for now so it's not in the way. And I highly recommend that you place down your sub-thief console as close to the rocks as you can, and maybe even potentially building on the rock. I have built just away from the rocks. I'll show you. I'll show you what happens if you don't build close to the rocks. Ah! There's a worm on where I built!
What's just happened?
A worm just came up where I built!
Have you built on the sand?
Oh, I'm fudged. Ah, it's coming again! Oh, God!
Yeah. It's gonna eat your base.
It's eating my base!
It'll swallow your base and your bike and everything.
So yeah, don't build too far away from a rock. Always build near a rock. That's the #1 key to building in Dune, is build near a rock or on a rock. Now it is night time, which is kind of useful because I'm going to get heat stroke all the time otherwise during the day, so we're happy with night time. So once you place that down, you're just going to need a ton of granite to be able to build the stuff. Now actually, it's super cheap to build the walls and stuff. It only costs like 8 granite or something, super cheap. So all you've got to do is simply collect all this granite, and you get so much from one of these rocks. It's unbelievable. My backpack is full. But you break the rock and you get loads of granite. So, honestly, you'll be fine. You're able to build a really big base early on. Right, back to our construction tool here. So, if I press R, it's going to show us the full menu for all of the building pieces. So, this is the starter stuff here. So, we've got Shome, Shelter. This is the starter stuff that you guys are going to be starting off with. All these building pieces here. Later on in the game, you will unlock more, which I haven't actually played with any of this yet. I'm literally just starting with the starter stuff, and then we'll go on to this on another video. So let's go through them one by one. We got structural stuff, we got foundation, triangle foundation, rounded foundation, which I love. We got this nice rounded foundation. We've got a center column, we've got a corner column, we've got a pillar bottom, a pillar middle, and a pillar top. Now for the walls, we have a wall 2, a wall 3, a half wall, a window. Now that's a nice little stripy window there. We've also got the door, the wide door, the passageway, rounded wall 2, half rounded wall, rounded window, and a rounded window 2. Now this rounded window, I don't quite understand this rounded window, because if I just quickly place it up here, and you're able to spin things around if you just hold Alt and use your little wheel on your mouse, you can spin things around. Let's see if I can get it to go where I want it to go. Okay, I'm not sure why I can't place this down, but as you can see, we better as well talk about this. You can place in a blueprint and then come back with the materials later, and this just saves, so you can plan your entire base in blueprints if you want, or you can just build it like this. Oopsie daisy, I built that one instead. Let's build that one too. So yeah, the weird thing with this window is it's not really a window. It's just an open walkway. You can just walk through it. So I'm not really sure what this means, like what this rounded window is about. If I show you the other one, now this is the rounded window too, and as you can see, there's an actual window inside. So I'm not really sure why that other piece doesn't have a window. I don't understand that. Now, if anyone knows why that is in the comments, then please let me know. But yeah, I'm clueless to why that is. Maybe it's just a beta thing. Maybe that's a bug. I'm not sure. So we've also got wedge walls. So we've got triangle wall, half triangle walls. We've got triangle wall in the top corners, and we've also got that for half walls as well, half triangle walls. Seeing all of these options make it really exciting to see what people end up building on this, because I think as the game, evolves and over time, people are going to start to cook with some of this stuff. I think it's very exciting. We've also got all these different roof pieces here, so let's go through them. We've got the rooftop, which is just a flat ceiling basically. We've got the triangle rooftop, which is another flat ceiling. We've got the rounded rooftop, which is a round ceiling. We've got the rounded inward rooftop to cover up some gaps in places. We've got rooftop 2, which is another just raised rooftop, but just a flat, like, for a square. We've also got the floor, which is very similar to the rooftop, just with a slightly different texture. Triangle floor, rounded inward floor. Your hatch, if you want to get a ladder system going up to a ceiling or another floor. We've got the angled roof, the corner angled roof, the corner inwards angled roof, and then you've got the roof cover left, roof cover right, triangle roof bottom, triangle roof top, and the rounded roof. A lot of these we'll try and use in our build today. And for inclines, now these are just for your stairs or your ramps, so we've got loads of different options for this. Look at this, we've got stairs, we've got this corner of the stairs if you'd like, you've also got the inwards corner, you've got half stairs and then the half stairs variants, and you've got the ramps as well as the ramp variants as well. And then last but not least, we've got the railings and the ladder. We've got the normal railing, a railing gate, a rounded railing, an incline railing, and a half incline railing. But you think that's it, do you? You think this is all we've got? No. You'll also start off with some lighting. So you'll have all of these lights available to you, which are super useful and light up the area really well. Obviously in a house, they light up an area better than they do out here, so. And then lastly, if you head over to the trader outpost, which you can find on your map, you just have to find the trader outpost symbol. But I've currently got a contract there, so you can't see the symbol, but you'll know it when you see it. I think the map changes as well each week, so just beware that this probably will be a bit different for you guys. I could be wrong on that, but all you got to do is go to the trader there, speak to him, and buy the furniture set. And once you buy the furniture set, well, then you get all the furniture. And this is all the furniture I've unlocked so far. We've just got the bookshelf, the wall partition, the desk, the couch, and the chair. We've also got some carpet, and we've got wall art. And that's all we have for now. Obviously, there'll be a lot more outside of the beta. But as far as I'm aware, this is all we can unlock in the beta at the moment. Okay, well, the sun is rising, and it is time to start to build our base. So let's start off with some foundation, shall we? So I'm going to press R, I'm going to go over to my structures and find my foundation at the back there. Now, I don't imagine that I'm going to be too fussed about how it looks like from the back because no one's going to see it. It's basically going into the rock there. In fact, I should have probably placed this whole thing a bit further back so we are building into the rock. That might have been a bit nicer, but we're going to build out here. That's absolutely fine. So I think I'm going to start off with the front of the base. Now, I really want to use these rounded foundations because these rounded foundations, you don't really often get rounded stuff in games. So let's try this quickly. I'm about to get heat stroke, and that's fine. Let's just let that happen. So let's turn this piece around. All you got to do to spin this around is hold Alt on your keyboard and use the mouse wheel, and you can spin this all the way around. And let's place this in somewhere out here. I'm also going to adjust the height, and to do that, you just press Control on keyboard, hold that down, and then go up with your mouse wheel. Alternatively, you can also do it this way. You could place in one fairly close into the ground. So let's say we place one around about here. I believe you can build on top of it. Look at that. You can build on top of it as well. So let's go ahead and do it this way. So you build on top of that. One here. Build on top of that as well. And let's also build these in now. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And now I'm going to take my standard foundation and place them in. So we need to put one here, place that in, put one on top, one below, one above, one to the sides, and the same on this side as well. So it should look like this so far. And now let's just place in some coming back as well. Now, actually here, now this is interesting, because here we could do something fun. If we just place in these bottom bits, like this, and then place in this large door, this wide door right here, along with a wall on this side, then we've got an area to place in our bike. Just a nice little garage area for our bikes. Now, this is where it sucks a little bit, because I believe the floor doesn't match the foundation, which is really annoying, and I wish that they did a variant that does match with... Oh, no, it does. Oh my god, tell a lie. It matches fine. Maybe they did an update last... There was an update. Maybe that was the update. There was an update this morning, and I didn't know what it was. Maybe this was it? I don't know. I could just be telling porkies. Well, there you go. The floor's fine. If you place the floor in, it looks like this. Right, if we look at our walls, the next wall we're going to be using is the half-rounded wall. Now, these half-rounded walls I love. The only gripe I have with them is that you're not able to snap to the... Look, as you can see, I can't go up again with the half-rounded wall on top of this. It won't let me. Once you have placed those half walls in, we can then go ahead and place in the rounded window too. Now, it is a little bit of a shame it's not as quite as round as the half-rounded wall and this rounded wall. But it doesn't matter, because let's place them in, and it still looks pretty good. Let's place in these, followed by another half-rounded wall on top of this. Now, I'm a bit of a sucker for placing in windows everywhere, so... I have a feeling I might be placing in a lot of windows here. Let's place in loads of windows. We can always change. The good thing about this is if you decide to demolish anything, you get all your materials back. So let's place in a window here, a window above this. Same on the other side. Now on the left side or the right side, it doesn't matter which side, but you're going to need to place in a door. So let's go ahead and place in a door here. Somewhere around here. It could either be on this one or this one. Let's go for this one right here. Then let's place in our walls and windows above this. And I think I'm going to have a window below there as well. And probably, let's do walls on the bottom and windows on the top. Fan-dabby-dozy, there we go. Looking very nice, looking very nice. Now, let's go ahead and place in our floor. Now, I don't know, what's this look like from below? That's what it looks like. Do I like that? I'm not sure. So we have the option between a floor and the rooftop. Let's see what the rooftop looks like. From below they look the same, but I'm pretty sure on top they don't. Let's have a look at the top. If I place in some stairs, I'm just placing in temporary stairs because I just want to quickly see what this looks like. Yeah, okay. We got stone and we got wood. Let's go with the wood. Let's go with the wood. Okay, let's start fresh with the roof here. So I think I want my stairs coming up here to the floor, which will be here. And have it like this. I think that looks good. Let's build this in. And then we want our stairs going up to this. There we go. That's looking very, very nice. Now, I'm not going to fill this section in. We could fill this section in. I think I'm going to leave it open. I think I'm going to leave it open. And maybe we place in some railings above this. And along here as well. As well as a angled railing going up the stairs. Lovely. Now, I might just quickly just shove in some temporary lights here. Just so we're able to see what we're doing in this house. Let's place that in. There we go. And maybe one up here too. So let's have a look outside. This is what it's looking like right now. Which is a mighty building. Look at this. What a mighty building. Now there's definitely some stuff we can do to improve this. And I've realised I've cocked up completely. Because the building range... This is going to be outside of the building range out here, isn't it? Let's see. Yeah, that's outside of the building range. Have we got any space on this side? Hopefully we do. Okay, we do. Okay, this is good. Okay, so the door's going to be on this side. I might have just screwed up a little bit there. You're going to have the door on one of the sides, and it's going to be on this side. So let's just move some of this stuff quickly. Now, the good thing about moving stuff in this game is if you've got stuff in storage boxes like I do, you're able to move the stuff with the box. So all the stuff is in the box right now, and I'm just moving it with the box. Okay, that is a bit of a shame about this door, honestly. I really wanted this to be on this side. It makes more sense. I've got a little bit too big for my own good, but honestly, this is kind of what I did when I first got in the game. This is very similar to the base I made. I made it a bit closer to the ground, which obviously you guys can consider doing yourselves if you want to do something similar to this, because it is quite an easy base, and it doesn't look as ugly as just a box. No one wants a box. No one wants a box for their first base, so try not to do that. Okay, at the back here where the garage is, I am going to place in some foundations just along the bottom. And let's move this up here somewhere. Okay, let's also see if we can get a ramp going into this. I really doubt it, but we're going to try. I think it's going to go outside of the range, which is a shame, but we can try. Does it let me move further inside the land claim? Yeah, okay. Damn. That is a shame. So I guess we've got to edit this design slightly. So we delete this, and then we're going to add it in. Okay, it does let me. Let's place it in there. Oh, and there. There we go. So we'll be able to get the bike in and out of that section. Now, over on this side, this is the side we want the door. So we're going to break this and place in the door here. So the door's going to go somewhere around here, like this. And then we're going to grab our foundation again, and we're going to try and do this here. Now, you could probably have another garage here, in all honesty. This could probably be a garage here. I'm tempted to put a garage here. Let's see. Let's do 1, 2, 3. In fact, this whole section, you could have a huge garage here. I mean, if you want to min-max the space, we could probably put in a giant garage here. Let's see. If I delete this, is everything going to be deleted above it? Probably. Oh, it stayed. It stayed. How about here? It stayed again. Okay, let's change over to a floor. So this is the floor. Let's place this in. coming out here. Now, I'm changing the design of my original base all of a sudden. And then we could even do some windows here as well. So window, 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 and then a door right at the front there. Obviously, this current little shelter that I've got is in the way. Let me just place in a door real fast. So you get the door here. Can I place that in? Would it let me? Just about. There it is. Okay, it looks like we're going to have to delete this. I'm just hoping that there's no sandstorm. If there's a sandstorm, I'm screwed now. If there's a sandstorm, I'm screwed, because this is my base for sandstorms right here. But we'll delete it real fast. Let's move this inside the actual base. We'll just place it in here temporarily. Now, does the door there actually make sense? Because we need stairs going up to this, right? We need stairs going up to this. Which means maybe the door needs to be on the left. That's my mistake. Let's put the door on the left here. Okay, there we go. Now, if we place in the stairs, we've then got a way to get up and down to the main build. And we've got this huge area down here for our bikes. Now, how many bikes are we going to have? Just one. Just one. But it's nice to have this. It could be like a little storage zone as well. So plenty of options there. And at this point, you guys are probably watching this saying, no, that's too big. That's not a starter base. That's too big. Guys, you will 100% have enough materials to make this base easy. I'm telling you. It's so easy to get granite. I mean, I built this exact same base myself during my starter period. So you will be absolutely fine. Let's place in some railings going up here. So we go over to the special zone, which is all the way over there. And then we can place in the incline railings either side, along with the railings going around the build. Okay, let's move on to the roof, because the roof's very important. We can't just sleep on the roof. Let me show you how we're going to do the roof. We're going to climb up here, and we're going to find the rounded roof. There it is. We're going to use this rounded roof. We're going to use it on top of this section here, and on top of this section here. So can I... Oopsie daisy. Can I build... Oh my god. Can I build that? Hang on a minute. So let's build this one. Then let's build this one. There we go. And then we need to work out how this is all going to connect together, right? We need to work out how this is all going to connect together. So I think if we use an angled roof corner... Let's place that in. On that side, and on this side, if I hold down Alt and spin with the mouse wheel, we can get it into the right position. There we go. Do it at the back as well, on this side, and on the other side. Okay, now the big question is how are we going to connect these sections up? And honestly, I've forgotten myself. Oh, there we go. There we go. We do it with the angled roof inwards corner. As you can see, I've got it selected there. Let me just show you. So this piece is very important for connecting roof types together. So we're going to connect these two together. And we're going to connect these two together. And then we're simply going to use the normal angled roof to connect the rest of the roof together. Like this. And that is the roof all complete. So let's have a quick look inside and see what we're working with. Let's have a look-see here. So we got the stairs going up to the second floor. We've also got this whole area down here. Now, if you wanted to, you could actually, rather than having the railings here, you have a piece. Now, let's see if it works. I'm not sure if it does. You actually have a roof piece. Where is it? Special roofs. A rounded rooftop is what it's called. And will it place here? It does place here. So you could do this. Now it doesn't, the only thing is you'll have this gap. You have this big old gap here. So it doesn't completely make sense to do this. This is why I opted for this square here. But what you could do, if you wanted to do this, is place in a no, you can't. Ignore me. The railing won't go there because it's obviously obstructed by the wall. So yeah, I mean, up to you. You could do that if you'd like. Okay, I'm just going to quickly move all this storage inside the house. There we go. We've added in all our storage around the circular section here, which is quite a nice place for the storage. It means we can just run up to it and use it. I believe you can rename these. I could be wrong. I think you can. Let's see. General settings. Maybe not. Maybe not. Okay, that is all placed on in the inside. Now, you could skip these next bits because I'm just going to do some additional details to the exterior before we move on to the interior. Now, the exterior is looking pretty nice. You know, it's not just a box at least. We've got that rounded bit that's at the front. We've got the garage at the back. Let's quickly just change up a few small things here. So the first thing I noticed at the front here is we had the wall here. I just quickly changed that to a window. And this is where the garage is, of course. We've got the garage here. I don't like that this goes in here, because this is obviously a foundation, and you guys are probably going to be like, why didn't you just do the whole bottom floor as a garage? And the reason is it's a starter house. We don't need to do the whole floor as a garage. We're not going to be able to fill this spot up. But what I do want to do is just quickly change this to a wall, either side. I'll probably do it on that side as well, honestly. Or I could change it to a window. A window might be better. A window might be better. At this point, I really want to change the whole bottom floor to a garage, but we're not going to do that. Dude, this is a starter house. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. We're going to keep it all as big as it is. Otherwise, we'll go too far with this. I'm going to start making a mansion. We don't want to do that. Am I safe to break this floor? I think I am. We're good. And then at least we got this big space here for our bikes. That does work quite well, so that's absolutely fine. Nice. Okay, that's working well. That's working well. Obviously, it depends on the terrain where you built anyway about the bottom floor. That's why the bottom floor is really, yeah, it's really dependent on where you're building. So you might just end up with a little tiny garage. You could end up with a bigger garage, depending if you've got the space. But if there's a big rock or big, you know, dune in the way, you're not going to really be able to do that, are you? So let's just quickly place in the floor. There we go. Okay, we're golden now. We're golden. Okay, so in terms of details, what are we doing, I hear you ask? Well, I want to play around with these pillars. I know we've got pillars. We've got access to pillars. I want to use the pillars, so let's see. Go back to here. So we've got the pillar middle, and that's what I think I'm going to be using today. Now, I'm pretty sure we're not going to be... Yeah, it's going to snap to the middle of the floors, which is fine. I don't know what I just heard something weird. Did you guys hear that? Am I going mad? But I think if I do this right, we might be able to place this in going into the wall slightly. Look at that. So if I just angle that correctly, look at this. We'll get it into the wall. And then if we go up and up again and up again, we've got ourselves a pillar. Look at that. We got ourselves a pillar. Now let's try and do this on this side. Now this side might be a little bit more tricky. Okay, let's try and place this in. The only thing is the stairs in the way, and I really don't think it's going to let us. I've only just realised this now, so this might be a massive fail, but you can see what I was going to go for here. Come on, let me do it. Let me do it. It won't let me do it. It won't let me do it. Damn, this is a shame. Obviously, if we don't have the stairs there, it's probably going to let us, but then it won't let us put the stairs back again. If we can get it right into this section here. Oh my god, that was an explosion. This should be fine. We can put it in here and go all the way up to the top. Build, 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 and build. That will actually work. We've got to move this section in to the left more, go into the build a bit more. But I think this will work. So we need to place in the stairs again. Would it let us place in stairs? It should do. I don't see why it wouldn't. There it does. It does. Then just our angled railings. One here. And it might not let us place one in here, and that's fine. Okay, I'm glad that we worked that out. I'm glad that we worked that out. So let's place in the pillar a little further in and a little higher up. Okay, there we go. That's looking pretty snazzy. I feel like the pillars are framing the build nicely. We could go ahead and do that on the back as well. go. This side is all placed in. I got rid of the floor because it was in the way of the pillars. I also put a pillar on the very edge here where the stairs go up. Not sure what that looks like. Should we have a look? Let's see what that looks like. Can't really see it from this angle anyway, but there you go. Those are the pillars all placed in. Now, if we wanted to be a bit more fancy, we could place in the pillar top. Let's see what that looks like. It could look really naff, or it could look really good. I say we do place in the pillar top. Let's place in the pillar top. There we go. We could have it like that, I guess. We could have it like that. I wonder if you can place a pillar bottom on top of the... You can place a pillar bottom on top of the pillar top. What does that mean? What's that going to look like? Looks ridiculous. Let's do it. Looks ridiculous. Let's do it. It looks so great. It looks so silly that I like it, you know? It looks so silly that I like it. Let's also draw it on this side. Okay, interestingly, guys, I just had a quick look. And look, we can't build any higher than that. That is literally the limit. And that is 1, 2, 3, 4... around about 5 walls high. That's the limit of the starter building. That's as far as you can go. Obviously, when you upgrade, you can probably go a lot higher. But this is as high as you can go for your starter build. Now, you think we're done with the outside. We're actually not done with the outside. I know that's insane, but we're not done. Because we're going to be adding in some lighting. Now, these lights cost 25 salvage metal each. So really cheap, in my opinion. Really pretty cheap. And we're going to be placing them around the build to really give it that little flair that it needs. Because otherwise it's just a concrete block, which we don't want. So let's go ahead and place the lights around the bottom of the build like this. Very nice. It just adds a little bit of flair to the entire build, which I really like. And now we're going to place in a light up the stairs here somewhere. Let's place it in around here. And that is the outside complete. Let's move on to the interior now. Now, it looks like I forgot to place in a floor here. So let's quickly just fill this in. For some reason, I can't get these planks to go the right way. So we're just going to have to deal with that. It's just going to have to be like that. Right, let's go back to lighting and start to place in some proper lights in. Now, these are floor lights, which I absolutely adore. Look at these. They're absolutely stunning. The only thing is they can get in the way of when you're trying to place in your crafting stuff. So just beware that we may have to move some of these. So let's just place in 1 or 2 here. And some wall lights going around here. And then I'm going to place in a carpet around about here, somewhere in the middle. Lovely. I'm going to do the same up here. Now, the only thing is with the carpet, if there's anything above it, it won't let you place it. So it's good to place it in first. Let's just move this quickly over there. And place this in somewhere around here. And now, I think it'll be good if I just go into super fast build mode and start building up this base. Now, on the bottom floor, this will all be crafting. And then above this will be some furniture and fun. We'll put in some bookshelves, a bit of reading, like a reading area up here. Maybe something over here as well. And then down here will all be crafting. So let's go ahead and do that now. I don't think it's meant to be doing that. Oh dear. And off it goes. Well, coming by. Don't look at me. You keep going. That's it. Fly over there where you belong. Fly over there where you belong, Mr. Worm. Well, clearly there's some bugs and kinks to work out in the game still, but nevertheless, I have finished the interior of the base, so why don't we take a little base tour right now. Let's go on into the main section of the base quickly. So we're going to come up the stairs that lead into our house. So this is the main entrance into our house. Now, downstairs we've got our crafting zone, as you know. We've got our lovely storage going all the way around. Very, very useful place to have all your storage, because you don't unlock the bigger chest until a bit later. So you've got to use these chests until then. And then we've got all the starter refining forges, etc. So we've got our... I think this is our refining forge here. Let me just check. Yes, this is our small chemical refinery. And then we've got our other refinery over here. This is our ore refinery. Over here is our fabricator. And we got our little decorations in the middle for chilling out on. Now, if we go to the upstairs is really just a decorative area. You're not going to need more than what you've got down here, especially for the starter area, because it's going to the game's going to force you to move up north after this. So you really don't want to go too crazy with your starter base. But I've gone ahead and added in some wall partitions, along with a bit of decorative bookshelves and the table and the chairs. And then over here, now these lights are amazing, these floor lights, I recommend using them. Now you might have seen me when I was placing in the garage down below. It came up with a little sign saying that it's limited to only 30 lights. We're only able to place 30 lights in this. Now I don't know if that's only for the starter bases, or if you can actually expand later on. I don't know if it's going to give you more, maybe like 50 to 100 might be nice. Maybe not 100, maybe 100's too far, but there you go. We've got our little sofas in here with our lights behind. I'm really going to be interested to see what they add in terms of more decorations for your bases. I'm sure there's going to be loads of stuff. Obviously, they're not showing it all off in the beta. So that's the main house. Now, if we come down the stairs, there's a few ways to get into the garage. So around the back here, we've got our door that leads straight into the garage here. Now, in the garage, you've obviously got a lot more room for a lot more stuff. You can probably put in some storage boxes. You can put in anything. I've got my generator down here, so I can keep the whole house generated with electricity. And then if we walk down this corridor, we've of course got our sand bike with the garage doors, which works really nicely. I have no idea why it shows this number 3 here. I don't really understand that. But we can simply get on and drive off. Oh, I glitched through the door. Okay, the door kind of tried to shut me then. But there you go. Let me turn the headlights on. And now we can drive off into the distant horizon without any sandworms in the sky or on the floor, hopefully. And we can drive away from our base. And look at that base. Doesn't it look nice? Now, that is a base to be proud of. A starter base to be proud of. Now, obviously, I'd rather do that base than this box over there. You see that box in the distance? Don't be that person. Be me instead. Let's have a little palace for our starter base, eh? Well, guys, if you enjoyed this video today, don't forget to smash the like button. Comment down below if you want to see more of this Dune base building. And why not subscribe? It's completely free and helps me out a ton. And until next time, love you guys to death, and I'll see you in the next video.